Hey, sexy souls. Hold on 1 second. I know. Look at that white arm. I had to set that up correctly. Let's see if we are right. Right. Okay. I'm gonna grab my lotion really quick. Sorry. I washed my hands and everything and then didn't put lotion on. I can't do that. Oh, let me. Sorry. Every time I think I'm ready. Anyways, all right. So, welcome to Weird and Woo Woo, where I'm weird and we get a little woo woo. Obviously, I am taking advantage of the mornings and doing some of the readings in the mornings. Uh, hope everybody's doing well. Um, this is going to be Coffee and Tarot, where Spirit gets to come to the table and discuss anything that they want. We don't necessarily have any kind of like parameters or intentions, time frames, things like that when we walk into this. Meaning that even if I ask questions, Spirit can railroad right through and be like, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about this. This is what I want to focus on. Because sometimes when we get into a reading, we get wrapped up in our agenda and wanting to know something very specific and projecting into those questions. And so Spirit's it's not the point of the message. And so Spirit has total control. When we do Coffee and Tarot, we settle in. It can be a hot minute of a read. So, let me give you my spiel. You are a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation is to never Cinderella it to make it fit. Alrighty. So, go ahead and grab your tea, coffee, lemon water, whatever it is. Settle in, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I'm picking up on is kind of like how I hopped on with this particular read. It's like there's this moment of waiting, and then Spirit's kind of like, and now. They're doing the whole and now. So you might have been like at the start line for something. I'm getting somebody like at a cliff's edge, kind of like, jumping into the water below. But I don't necessarily want to say it's like with a full card. Um, but it's kind of like somebody diving. And now, I don't know. Okay, so they want to start with Angel Tarot, not Angel Oracle. I don't know where I was going with that one. Alrighty. Oh, that bad boy jumped. Queen of Cups. Okay. Okay. Tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, loving. Things kind of developing to a new level, trusting your intuition. I don't feel anything off of that card just yet. There's something about the tender-hearted. That's Page of Cups. Okay. New person enters your life. Alrighty then. Okay. Sensitive, friendly, artistic. All right, every single one of these talks about psychic insights and intuition. This is talking about trusting your intuition. This says that you have heightened psychic abilities. This talks about important psychic insights. There's something to that. And then there's this idea of like protecting yourself, having courage, believing in yourself. I don't know where this is going to go. And now I'm like, I feel like they're like, do you get it? And I'm like, no, I don't. Do you get, and now I don't get what you're saying. I don't know why you're saying it like that. King of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, King of Wands. Speaking your mind with confidence, stepping into some kind of leadership role, communicate with vision. I don't get it. But I feel like that's not me. I feel like that's somebody else. I think that somebody else is most certainly feeling, sensing, receiving things intuitively. Um, but somehow you whoever I'm reading for, you feel like that's incomplete. And so that's the go-to. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's not making sense. Is it? Is it not? The moon does talk about releasing fears that are holding you back. So that's what it is. You, a very highly sensitive person. I'm getting very strong though. I'm not, when we say highly sensitive, we're not talking like somebody who is a victim to their own empathetic and empathic abilities. Like that's not, that's somebody that lacks the ability to wield their own skills. I don't get that here. Sensitive isn't like overly like, oh, you take things too close to heart. Like it's more the tender-hearted, loving, leading with the heart, you know. I feel like that's a bit of the fear. I don't want to say somebody is there's not it's not rejection sensitivity. It is maybe not well received when somebody follows their intuition. I think someone doesn't like being seen as naive, um, tender-hearted, um, like, they feel like it makes them people think that they're an easy target. I get a sense that whoever this is feels like, people treat you like you're ignorant because of, like, wearing your heart on your sleeve kind of a situation. Um, yeah, I feel like you're naive, you're like, that's kind of like the energy of people treating you as such when you've operated out of that in this life. It's like if you could follow your intuition and follow the psychic insights without people witnessing you, you do it easily. But there's a fear related to that, acting on those things because it's like I get a bit of victim brother, like it's your fault. The reason why things go wrong in your life is because you're so naive. You wear your heart in your sleeve. You got to quit. Blah 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 blah. Because it's funny with the release your fears. It you would think that it's there could be fears that you have regarding following your intuition where things haven't worked out before, or following your heart, and it didn't work out before. But there's this thick layer that I can't even get to that because it's more of people witnessing you, perceiving you as ignorant, naive, weak, and then you having a mishap and them witnessing that. There's just something, there's a component there. Um, and that feels like a fear that holds you back because with the 9 of Wands, we're talking about having courage with leading in yourself. And I think that there's been damage there. King of Swords. But if you're communicating with, if you're speaking with confidence, communicating what you think, see, and feel, if you're stepping into, again, a leadership role and communicating with vision, both of these are about projecting that outwards where people will see and witness. Um, it's like, I don't want to get it wrong again because people perceive me as blah, 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 blah. You care as much if you look crazy. Crazy is, crazy become very acceptable. Like people will call you crazy, but crazy is like, that's not anything new. But like especially in today's society where women are seen as weak, it's like to feed into that fodder would be s- somebody doesn't want that. So in order for, because I'm getting like, in order to be successful on your own, this is what is required. There's a lot of like communicating with vision, projecting all that you are out to the world, and having to be courageous because of how people may perceive you. But these are important psychic insights. The crazy part isn't the one that you're concerned with. It's the, oh, poor, pitiful little, oh, look at how sweet, so tender-hearted. And it's like, it's the naivety approach, the weak approach that you don't like. I'm getting somebody say little lady, like, like when men think that we're just not to be taken seriously, and, it's like you're using your intuition and leading with your heart has led people to believe that you are incapable and that they need to do it for you, and you don't like being seen as weak or incapable, and you don't like it when people don't take you seriously. That's it, they don't take you seriously. Like, they need to take care of you because you're just so, that's what I'm getting. Okay. There's like a movie where it's like, not to be taken seriously, little kid. It's like that's what it is. Like they treat you like you're a child. Okay. We're getting to it. They treat you like you're a child. That's why you get held back. I heard you're too grown for this. Oh, that not to be taken seriously, little girl. There's a movie. What is the movie? Oh, The Grinch. When Cindy Lou Who, with her tenderheartedness, I knew it was coming. Spirit was trying to help. Spirit's giving it to me, and they're like, "What do you mean you don't know where?" And the mayor's like, "I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you this would happen, but no, y'all wanted to listen to like the little girl who hasn't even grown into her nose yet, not to be taken seriously, little girl." Like the way he said it, like that's what it is. Like you can't stand being treated like you're just a not to be taken seriously little girl. And you've probably, as a result, have been the one to give great advice, to share vision, and to guide people, only for them to not take it. And it's like, why offer something up that no one will listen to? Okay. But there is this sense of being successful and with your independence. And maybe you've not had success up to this point as what you would consider success. Um or independence from doing this. Maybe you feel like up to this point it hasn't benefited you in any way. So why even share? It doesn't mean that you're not receiving important psychic insight. It doesn't mean that you don't have a um you're just not sharing it. And that's what this is saying. But there is a difficulty here where you don't want to share it because something has transpired before where you were treated, looked at as if you were not taken seriously about something, that you were just naive, that you were weak, that you were tenderhearted, um, you didn't really know any better. You weren't seen as wise. Mhm. And so when whatever this is, this could be like self-employment, like there's something that you're meant to do, but it's forward facing to the public. It's where these become highlighted and are at the forefront. Um, I get the sense that somebody has gotten tired of trying to share that and has gotten into a mode of withholding, receiving things, but not really standing on business when it comes to sharing that. It's like it stole somebody's voice. A Knight of Cups. I know you lying. I think I'm actually gonna put these back as well because I just put back everything that kersplooshed on the floor. Knight of Cups and the Star. They keep repeating the not to be taken seriously little girl. As if I feel like that's the crux of it. That's how you feel. Like you're not taken seriously. One, because you're a woman. Two, as a result, you're not seen as somebody who has wisdom. You're just a little girl to not be listened to not be heard, to not be taken seriously. Definitely societal standards and expectations and traditions that are wrapped up in that. As far as tell me about the Knight of Cups, please. It has the air of like a proposition of some sort. Oh, come on. I'm not really sure. fucking K. There is something being propositioned to you. I heard very shortly. S- Keeps you on the right path. It's guided by spirit. Um, it's a wish fulfillment. Places you squarely in the Empress energy. Primed and ready to receive. The Empress is the epitome of tenderheartedness, empathetic, loving, intuitive, nurturing. It's almost as if it's like being elevated for that and being seen for that rather than ignored um, because of it. There's a reverence for this, and there's someone that values you for this very thing. You will be celebrated for it. You will create community around that. Three of cups is community, social networking, your environment, your community. You know what I mean? The people that you surround yourself with. You will find the right community that values you for this. Tell me about the star card. Oh, it's healing. Okay, there's something in this proposition or this offer that's very healing. Ooh. Oh, baby. Sun card. Everything made right. Everything. The sun turns anything that could potentially be negative into something very, very positive. So, whatever you may fear could happen almost acts in the opposite direction. Turns it on its head. This is a stark contrast to what you've experienced thus far. I did not mean to pull that card out. We have the devil. Mm. It's like breaking free really fast. I don't know. It feels like of all the time, think about the environment and the world that you're existing in, something has kept you tethered. Something has kept you in this loop. I don't know. This proposition breaks you free from that and fast. Turns everything on its head. You'll be taken seriously. You'll be valued for all of the way in which you approach things, for your tenderheartedness, for your patience, for your love, for your empathy, for your sensitivity, for your artistic abilities, for your intuition. Like it's as if it's like it is the crux of the success you will experience. It is a thing that to you. But to get to the other side to see this requires strength. There's also something about a strength that you've acquired over time, experiencing what you have in the past, that gives you a resilience against. Because I feel as if it's like there's no way to say that everybody will value you for this, but those voices will be drowned out by two things: those who seek to have connection with you specifically for this reason. And then, of course, because of what you've been through, um, where there's been a massive timeout. Like you must have withdrawn for quite some time, lost your voice for a period of time, refused um, that resilience will help you that you've built over time because of that with any potential naysayers or anybody who has snide, condescending, you know, um, remarks or anything else like that. Also, they're giving me that once you get into this Empress energy where you are valued for it, there's a sense of like you no longer view you no longer view this as a weakness because remember I said you don't want to be seen as not to be taken seriously, naive. Um, it's seen as a strength. It flips the lens, the perspective. This is you value it and see it as a strength. But whoever or whatever is coming in sees this as a strength of yours. Tell me about the Knight of Cups, please. Use Hermetic Tarot. Two of Pentacles. Harmonious change. So, what is the change? What is the proposition? King of Swords. So second King of Swords. Queen of Pentacles. Somehow bringing voice to the Queen of Pentacles. Because the way that I look at it, Queen of Pentacles automatically elevates into the Empress status. It's kind of like a hanged man. A view and perception. What is the proposition, though? Ace of Wands. This could be a project of some sort. Something. I almost want to shy away from artistic, but there is an art to it. There's a passion, very much to do with speaking one's mind and whatever this does brings some kind of vision to life, brings a harmonious change, um, wants to add your voice to the mix. What you have is exactly what this endeavor needs. You hold a very different perspective, and that's the whole point. You've been shunned and demeaned or seen lesser than for it, and it's like it's the thing that's being valued. Your different perspective is exactly what someone wants to add to something. What is the project? Because this is very rooted in logic, um, pragmatic, intellectual viewpoints. Queen of Pentacles has a more holistic, nurturing way of seeing things. So what is this? What is this project? Ten of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Something ended. Something. Pentacles here. Yeah, so they want to build and create. Create something. Um. I almost want to say adding you would bring life back to something or revive it, something that has met its end. Ten of Swords. Usually my worst case scenario, but it's always like there's nowhere to go but up, right? You go from the 10 to the ace. Knight of Pentacles. This is a serious offer, one that can be trusted. This is the creative project for the world to see. This is the material work, something that is visible to others. Again, elevates you, brings more to something that you have been doing or something that they've been doing hasn't quite panned out. And adding you to the mix or them coming in to help you revives something. This is a very serious offer. Let me collaborate with you. Let me work with you. Let's work on this together. Let's create something very real, sustainable. It's here. It's like coming together to as a in a partnership. It turns it around. So either you have been seen as something or someone not to be taken seriously. Again, we did have the Nine of Pentacles, which just does talk about self-employment. So there may be something that you have attempted to do on your own that's not gaining the traction because you're not being taken seriously. Um, because people haven't seen the value position. Almost at is like, well, we see the value. Let's add you into this and let's bring a level of success to what it is that you've been trying to do. So it is about a coming together, a collaboration, a cooperation, and building something together rather than in isolation. You're seen as successful. And it's funny because with this, I get that you didn't necessarily stop communicating um, or try to be a leader. It's just that you were being not taken seriously, and you didn't try to force the hand. You didn't try to make people listen to you. It's almost like adding you to something as a platforms your voice more and it adds to something that somebody else has already begun. It is a project of some sort. Ace of Wands. And with your font, it's something that's already established. So you are being brought in on something already established. Maybe what you're doing on your own isn't getting the traction, but it's like bringing you into some established project or platform and elevating because it's like we want that perspective and we believe more people could benefit from that or this project could benefit from that. So we're going to add you to this. But it's something that's already established, but they want to work with you. The Devil. There's not really anything holding you back. This is a good business decision. There we go. Good business. Devil is always good business decision. They see it as a very, very good business decision. The Devil, Seven of Pentacles, something will then take root, will really take off. Will really take off. Four of Wands. This, whatever this is going to act as a foundation for something else that's going to continue to build. It will be both emotionally and materially beneficial. It will bring success. And then the Two of Wands. Allows you to act on something. The thing that the thing that you have perceived to be the reason you've not gained any kind of traction or success with whatever it is because you get seen as a not to be taken seriously, whatever, um, is the exact same. It is the reason you're being brought in on something. Because again, there's a sense of resilience and a perseverance here. Once, twice. Like you stood on business. You didn't necessarily change. You may have like stopped trying to make people listen to you and you stopped giving your perspective in areas where you knew nobody would listen. Um, but you didn't stop. You didn't stop though. You didn't change how you perceive things. You didn't change your personality, your outlook, the way that you operate with your heart on your sleeve. You didn't change any of that despite how people you have great strength. And what is your recommendation in regards to this? Right? Night Sun Tarot? King of Wands. The Star card. It feels like go all in. To go all in. King of Wands energy very well might be ushering in this opportunity. King of Pentacles. You have a lot of king energy here. King of Swords came out twice. King of Wands twice. And the King of Pentacles. Tower. It's giving more of a breakthrough. Tell me all the king energies, please. Can I just say that there's a lot of, oh, okay. I was going to say there's a lot of masculine energies and your feminine energy, what you, what is, again, this very intuitive, um, heart-centered, empathetic, patient, loving, nurturing mother type of energy with the Empress seems to be like, I don't know if this very well may be a situation where there's a lot of very masculine energy and your energy comes in to break that up. You're the balance. You're the balance to that. And again, it does, everybody has masculine and feminine, but if someone is, to what degree, that we operate out of each one is different for each individual. Um, so my thing is that like I'm thinking like a nod to our, your natal chart and things like that. Some people, certain signs and things are considered to have more of a masculine or feminine kind of like energy to them. And so some people have like three placements that are feminine and the others are all masculine. Blah 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 blah. Like I have an even number. Like I'm evenly on both sides. I have two boys who their charts are have feminine predominant placements. And so it's one of those things where it's like I always find that shows itself in how people operate because it's just who they are to the core. That's their version of balance and union. And so, whatever this individual or these individuals bring to the table needs to be broken up. These are also very logical and intellectual, um, with obviously not much. It's not saying somebody does lacks the capacity to operate from their heart, but when their natural state is to operate from the mind, or from the pragmatic, it's nice to bring something or someone in that can break that up and challenge it, to question those perspectives. And given that this has to be something in regards to, there's a lot of communication cards, a lot of speaking your mind, standing on your truth, that type of situation. And so this has to be something that's either public facing or a project that, like within the arts, that's like in writing or in film or podcast. Like it has that energy of that, where tell me about the tower. It would not work out so well if you were entrenched in your mental. Dare I say your. Don't be. Queen of Swords is really quick. You have been afraid to be seen for your intuitive, compassionate, sensitive, heart centered, heart led self on a large scale. You still are that, but you have kept it. And so you're pretty sharp with the tongue, quick witted, very good at communicating and staying in the logic when it comes to certain people. The idea that the heart is in a cage here tells me that, again, you've maintained who you are, but you don't share that with as many people. And sharing that on a larger scale, you refuse to do because of the way it was, like, not to be taken seriously, little girl, like the way that you were treated, um, and devalued, and not valued for that, and seen as problematic for that. Um, and so you're more used to operating like that on a smaller scale in your personal life. The reason this is a tower moment is because they're asking you to be that person on a large scale, to allow a large audience to see that. That is very scary for you. That is where they're asking you to be brave. You've become comfortable on a smaller platform, on a smaller stage, being who you are. You've gotten comfortable with, I think at one point you wanted the world to hear what you had to say. You wanted to impact the world. But there's like a sense of, I don't trust the world now. Like, just to be shut down, devalued, why would I? But people will value you now with the Empress card, which is way underneath here, exactly for this. This is exactly what is needed right now. They need you to break something up. They need you to be the one to shine a different perspective and approach things from a different lens, a different paradigm. It's just saying you're the right one to do this. It requires resilience, it requires strength, it requires, um that's the tower moment, is to bring that part of you to the forefront. It may feel like you're about to step in front of a firing squad, though, but that's what you're meant to lead with. And again, you may have convinced yourself that that is exactly the reason why you haven't had success. But they're like, no, that being the forefront of the face that you present to the world, you sharing that highly coveted part of yourself is what brings you success. So, whatever comes your way, things will change in your favor. You will be seen favorably. And I dare I say you will be heard this time and valued. So, um, but it's almost as if it's like it is a bit of a tower moment to bring this Queen of Swords heart in a cage. Let me hide this part of myself from you all, from the world, because it's not been wanted, desired, or valued whatsoever. It's time to break that free and bring it back out. So I think that's it. That is the message. I hope it finds whoever it's meant for. I hope everybody has a fantastic, wonderful day, and I'll see you at the next read.